Om. 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 मैं कोई ऐसा गीत गाऊं कि आरज़ू जगाऊं अगर तुम कहो। मैं कोई ऐसा गीत गाऊं कि आरज़ू जगाऊं अगर तुम कहो। तुमको बुलाऊं कि नजरें बिछाऊं कदम तुम जहां जहां रखो। जमी को आसमां बना दूं सितारों से सजा दूं अगर तुम कहो। मैं कोई ऐसा गीत गाऊं कि आरज़ू जगाऊं अगर तुम कहो। तुमको बुलाऊं नजरें बिछाऊं कदम तुम जहां जहां रखो। जमी को आसमां बना दूं सितारों से सजा दूं अगर तुम कहो। मैं कोई ऐसा गीत गाऊं कि आरज़ू जगाऊं अगर तुम कहो। मैं कोई ऐसा गीत गाऊं कि आरज़ू जगाऊं अगर तुम कहो। तुमको बुलाऊं कि पलकें बिछाऊं कदम तुम जहां जहां रखो। ओम शिवा। ओ शिवा मेरे को शक्ति दे। ओ काली माँ मेरे को शक्ति दे। When you come into a state of meditation, as I have been reminding you and making you remember time to time, when you come in a state of meditation, please make sure it's first thing in the morning. And the reason is very rational that I have mentioned before. The reason is basically that you have not collected the data, that because once you start collecting the data through your five senses, it would be start circulating in your mind. You see there is more resistance right now. Not right now, but I'm saying during the day there is more resistance because you are perceiving every moment. The process of you perceiving is a never ending process. You see, even when you are sleeping, sometime unconsciously, you are always conscious, even when you are sleeping. You know that, right? I gave you basically the metaphor of dream, that what sages observe when they turn their attention, what the sages observe when they turn their focus inwards. You see, sages, the spiritual gangsters of cosmos, the real gangsters, not the right around the corner kid gangster or the gangster or the people you see in correctional facilities or in different part of a country. I'm not talking about those abstract gangsters because for the most part, humans don't really know what gangster is. You see, these gangsters, the cosmic gangsters, they play on the ground of eternity. These gangsters, the cosmic gangsters, they play on the ground of eternity. Their field, their ground to play basically is eternity. Their field and the ground to play basically is eternity, the eternity which has no boundaries attached to it, the eternity which is forever, the eternity which is that there is no boundary, there are no barricades, if you understand. This is where the big guys play, this is where the spiritual gangsters play, this is their playground, you see. And these people, sages of course, can be found still in numerous parts of the world, mostly not in West. I would be honest with you, I'm not trying to be condescending or downplay West. I am not doing that. That's not my intention, but mostly not in the West. You see, remember only the last retreat or the retreat before, I can't remember exactly when, but in one of the retreats, I said that in West, what happened is these people gave too much significance to the mind. They made huge infrastructures. They made the quality of life, according to your definition, very high. Not according to my definition or my perception, yeah, but according to your definition, yeah, very, very high. Now you are very comfortable. This is the height, or this is the prime, basically. This is the height, or this is the prime, where human, as far as mind, can evolve. You are not going to evolve any further as far as the mind. You see, you can change what you have invented. You can modify, you can bring new features in the inventions, but it is not going to go any further. This is the prime. So moving on. Sages observe when they turn their attention inwards that you go through different stages of awareness, of consciousness during your sleep. As you sleep, just a reminder, as you sleep, consciousness withdraws from the body to the mind only, you see. And then you have dreams. And then the dreamless state. This state is so profound, in which the experiencee or experience, no, however you want to phrase that, only is aware of herself or himself. And there is it. No data is being recycled. This is when the consciousness withdraws from the mind as well, if you understand. This is when the consciousness withdraws from the mind as well. So first thing in the morning when you wake up, I wake up very early and I sleep very less, if you understand. I wake up very early and I sleep very less, is because of my dedication to my practice. However, I am not led by my mind, or at least for the most part, I am not led by my mind. I control it. I have taken charge on it. The moment you take charge on a significant scale, the moment you take the charge on the significant percentage of your mind, the more calmer you feel, the more lighter you feel. Remember, the rubber band or elastic band tension is not in you anymore. That tension is gone, or at least you feel it very, very rarely, because now you have withdrawn your focus from everywhere, the objects around you, the thoughts within, the beings around you, the people, then the voices around you. You have withdrawn. And as soon as you withdraw, basically, it just you rest in within. And that's the best way to rest. So the one who is resting within, the point I'm trying to make, the one who is resting within does not require much sleep. If I tell you how much I sleep in one day, you would be astonished. Maybe 3 to 4 hours. But it never reflects when I deliver the words of truth and wisdom, because I'm always alert. I am never tired, So the one who rests within does not need much rest. Please understand that. First thing in the morning is the best time, because you have not collected the data. You sit like I am sitting. with your legs crossed, or even you can sit like this. It's easier for you since you are a beginner. And make sure that you are completely and totally relaxed, every cell in your body. The reason is because if there is a stress point in your body, if you understand what I'm saying, yeah, if there is a stress point in your body, that stress point would keep you restless. And we are doing just totally opposite. We are trying to bring you at peace, and we are trying to defy the compulsion within you. So you can rest like that. Then sit attentive, close your eyes, and place your both palms or on your both knees, if you understand. Place your both palms, your palms, basically, these palms are upwards. As you are sitting with your legs crossed, you are sitting attentive, specifically the lower part of your backbone. You see, specifically the lower part of your backbone. It is attentive. And you are sitting very attentive. You are sitting now. You are initiating the physical posture. You are initiating the physical posture, which is very similar to the geometry of cosmos. You see, we are trying to align this physical accumulation. I do not say ever that you, because you are beyond this. You must remember that. You must remember very, very profoundly that you are not this. That's why I choose my words very, very carefully, even if I am in the state of meditation, and I use my intellect every now and then if I have to pull something, some word or something. That's why I carry tons of vocabulary. But for the most part, I am in the state of meditation, you see. So your palms upwards on your both knees, your legs are crossed, you are sitting attentive, specifically the lower part of your backbone. It's the gateway through which consciousness runs through your body. You close your eyes, this way your attention is not hooked on the attentions or the dots or anything, something on the wall, a picture, an object, or the beings around you. You close your eyes. Just listen to the sound of my voice now. So you breathe now, first thing. Now, mind you, you are missing the point. You have gone around the house, everywhere, every corner. You have checked very carefully, and you realize there is nothing to be taken care of. If something requires your immediate attention, go attend it first. This way you wouldn't have to be distracted with your thoughts here while you are sitting like this. Just pay attention to the sound of my voice. Pay attention that clock is ticking, and the time for you to be happy is now, this second, this very second, this moment. If you are struggling with depression, if you are anxious, or you have any of the disorders, and if you are struggling sadly and unfortunately to move from the couch or bed even, you can do this practice while you lay straight, at least with your palms upwards, and listen to the sound of my voice. You are breathing. You know the most significant thing right now you are doing. You understand. You are performing the most significant activity in this moment in time, in the entire universe. Not the depression, not the substances, not the alcohol, not sex, or anything along those lines, or any type of addictions, video games. Maybe I should go ahead and have a cigarette, then I can retrieve. Maybe I should go ahead and drink some water. No, none of that. The very, the very purpose, the very purpose of this meditation is to retrieve your consciousness or the sense of self-awareness that is you, to yourself. While you breathe in, you breathe out gently. It's the most important activity which is going on. Remember, if this activity stops, every activity which is related to this activity, if you understand, if this activity if this activity stops, everything stops, right? Isn't it? If breathing, we take it so granted, it's so generic that it is always overlooked, right? Breathing, we take as granted. It's such a generic activity that it's been always overlooked, but it is the most significant activity, isn't it? Because if this activity stops, everything would stop just like that. Please know that. So pay consciously your gratitude to life, which is going in and which is coming out for a few moments, for a few seconds. Now imagine that whatever the sensory perceptions may be present. I'm not saying are present. Now imagine whatever the sensory perceptions you are perceiving through your senses, whatever the sensory perceptions may be present, the sound, the very sound of my voice that you are hearing, maybe thought is distracting. He has mix of the accent. Maybe thoughts is distracting you. You should open your eyes and look at his body. Or trying to prompt you for no good reason, because remember, you are missing the point. You have gone around the house and you have checked everything. It doesn't mean that you become oblivious from your surroundings. No, that's not what I'm saying, that you become oblivious. You are alert. As a matter of fact, you are more alert, because your eyes are closed. One sensory perception, one sense among five is closed for some time at least. So the sensory perceptions are heightened even now, because right now you are not seeing, you are just paying attention to the sound of my voice, and you are just giving consciously your gratitude to your breathing, the most important activity that there is in this moment in time. Thought is rising, thought is subsiding, thought is prompting you, thought is saying what you are going to do for the rest of the day, what you have done in the past. Look, thought is trying to abuse you. In other words, that's what I am saying. Thought is trying to abuse you again, because mind hates it when we take charge. But we are not, it doesn't matter whether mind hates it or mind dies, which obviously is not going to happen because it's a parasite. It does not need food. It does not need breathing. It does not need anything to survive. It survives by our attention. It survives by our focus. And we are aware of it in the sacred communion with divinity, with the souls, while we meditate, as we are doing right now in this moment. All now, since you have closed your eyes, you cannot see the objects around you, you cannot see the beings around you, and your attention cannot hooked with the objects, or your mind does not try to make sense of the object, maybe a glass, reading glasses, a bottle of water, a rubber band, or any of the objects which may be around. Your mind is not trying to make the sense of these objects, because you remember, you are missing the point. Remember, your eyes are closed, so you are not seeing anything. You are more alert, or now what the thoughts are coming from the past or about the future or anything. Imagine all these thoughts which are making attempt to bring you down, and you are not going to surrender. Imagine there is a whirlpool. You have seen the whirlpool, what we say in Hindi, bhavar. Imagine there is a whirlpool in your imagination. There is nothing but a whirlpool. Imagine that. Let's use the imagination a little bit to still you in the basic stage of meditation. So imagine a whirlpool. The source, the center of this, the center of this whirlpool is black. You see, it's black. It's pitch black. Pitch black, by the way, is what we are essentially too. This is our most refined. This is our most. This is our most refined, and this is the most pure, basically. This is the most pure form of each one of us and everything in the creation, whether on this planet or on other planets, is the fundamental state. Remember, don't miss the points. Your thoughts are rising, subsiding. These thoughts can be any thoughts. You see, mind is playing tricks and trying to abuse you so it can feed off you and remain alive. But you are not. You are throwing these rising thoughts one by one in that whirlpool. And remember, the center of this whirlpool is pitch black. Okay, do that while you pay attention to your breathing. Just remember, the center of the whirlpool is pitch black. And anytime a thought is rising in your awareness, as the whirlpool is conducting its process, imagine all the thoughts and whatever the sensory perceptions, the data, all the thoughts that are rising and subsiding, all these thoughts are dissolving in that black dot. You see, while you become more alert, while you become more aware, while you become more alert, and while you become more aware of your thoughts and the activity of the mind. Most, not all, mind you, but for the most part, the activity of the mind is useless. And ironically, mind does not realize itself is the mind of all humanity. And you witness that thoughts are coming, arising, but these thoughts are being dissolved in this whirlpool, if you understand. These thoughts are being dissolved as the whirlpool does its activity, and the center of the whirlpool is a black dot. You are using your imagination in this moment and in this time. As you know, you are using your imagination. This is the only imagination you have right now in your awareness, if you understand. This is the only imagination you are using. Nothing else matters in this moment in time, only your imagination. As you are imagining, you are witnessing your thoughts. They may be troublesome thoughts. They're trying to hook your attention to something very useless. All these thoughts are being dissolved in the whirlpool. The source of the whirlpool is black, pitch black. All right, keep doing it as you are breathing, and so am I. Thor is asking you, or Thor is asking you basically that what are you going to do? Thor is asking you basically that what are you going to do after this? Usually, thought prompts you to pay attention to something in the near future. It's petty. It keeps you engaged in the three-dimensional reality, which is a very narrow band, as you realize. Remember, we have two type of bands. One is narrow band and the other one is broadband. We want to be and remain in the broadband because we want to remain in the broadband because we like broadband. Broadband basically has no limit to it. Broadband basically has no boundaries. It's eternal. Its broadband is ultimate reality. Broadband is maximum freedom, if you understand. Broadband is maximum freedom. Broadband is liberty and freedom without any boundaries. That's why we are turning our focus inward so we can explore in the broadband, but not this petty three-dimensional reality up, down, in your sight, in your surrounding, the narrow band. No, I refuse to perceive my reality in the narrow band. I refuse it. And I have control on it. I am in the charge of it. That's why we all are in the communion with each other, and we all are in the communion with sacred, which is the same thing. Sacred and divinity basically is present equally. Sacred and divinity is present equally in each one of us. Remember, I told you not long ago, the creation is not human centric. Just because you are having a human experience, it does not mean it looks that way. Just because you have evolved on a certain level, and just because you are having a human experience, it does not mean that you are the center of creation. You are not. Creation is limitless. Please keep that in mind. While we commune and band with each other and band with sacred, this is our communion with sacred. Divinity and sacred is present equally in each being, in everything in creation. It is present. We are realizing the most important thing which really worth it is the life which is going in while we are breathing in, and is the life which is coming out while we are breathing out. Rest does not matter, just that life. And in more profound way, even body does not matter, or the object's presence on the body don't matter, in more profound way. Remember all the thoughts, it's going in the whirlpool. The source of the whirlpool is a black dot, and it is totally and pitch black. Remember, don't miss that. After a certain period of time, when you become used to of this activity and you are not racing in the future, that what you are going to do after performing this activity, or not, you are not regretting that whatever has happened in the past. It's mind usually keeps you what has recently happened, or the recent past, usually. That's my observation. Or what is going to happen in the future, usually in the near future. But the thing is, no future exists, not the past. That truth of the matter is basically what exists is existing right now, here. Now, as you do, let the black dot go now. It dissolves in eternity. In your imagination now, let the black dot go. It dissolves in eternity. Every thought is gone now, and you can now sit You are instilled. You are instilled, not installed. Read my lips. You are instilled in the fundamental meditative position for now. All you gotta do, just defocus from everywhere. Do not focus on one thing in particular. In do not focus on one thing in particular. Do not focus on one thought in particular. Do not focus on one object in particular. No. Just defocus from everywhere and keep breathing and just become consciously aware of the most beautiful and most significant activity, breathing. Let's do that for some time. Okay. Now, I'm retrieving to deliver some wisdom to you. Yesterday, when I delivered the words of truth and wisdom, and mostly I was in a profound state of meditation, I basically brought some awareness regarding the disorders we have, and people are going through rough times. And when you are hopeless, or at least it may seem like it, when you are depressed, you don't want to do anything. And if the state unfortunately remains for longer and longer um, period of time, the person gets unfortunately more and more depressed and hopeless because person feels there is no hope, you see. But there is always hope. Hope is right now. You can still do something about it. I mentioned initiate this meditation. If you are struggling to move from the bed or couch, you can still lay. Make sure that your back is straight as comfortable and humanly possible. And you can do the same thing that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. You are initiating meditation. Do not think that this activity is for nothing. Mind would tell you this is for nothing. You cannot get better from this activity, but it is lying. It's not your ally. You have to turn it into your ally. It's the gateway through which demons and devil enter and penetrate ugly fear in you, doubts within yourself, hooking your attention towards the objects for no reason and trying to make sense out of it for no reason, for no real reason. And the more the being suffers, the more being becomes the victim, the more thrill they get. That's demented, isn't it? Demons and devil reside in us. They don't have no physical form as the religion portray. Demons and devils, they reside in us. And the more you grow stronger in your quest to find truth and wisdom, the more you grow stronger in your meditation, the more you grow stronger in spirituality, the more pissed they are, the more angry they are, the more they try to harm, unfortunately, you. Sometimes it only happens because they have visibility to see your mind, they have visibility to see your thoughts, they have visibility to see which thought I can use so this being can suffer. You know how they are created. Devil Lucifer, of course, wanted to establish its own identification, you see. And since Adam couldn't basically keep his zipper. He had the problem with the zipper, you know. He was one curious. Rest you can fill the blank. So Aram initiated the cause and effect start. The sooner effect or the result start, the devil, the Lucifer was there. You see, Lucifer said, I am the abstract reality. I would dwell in you. You see, that was Lucifer. It dwells, it penetrates fear, it penetrates self-doubt. You think, what about if I say something and it comes across negative and people get offended or I might get in trouble? All this is demons and devil, you know that? You think you are creating this thought. You think you own this thought. You do not own this thought. Your thought is not your personal thought. Please know that. And the bearers of nasty thoughts are the demons and the devil. They pull the thought from the mind of all humanity. The mind of all humanity has a lot of nasty thoughts, you see. There is no one to blame. There is no one to guilt or feel sadness about, because personally, one person or two people or three people or an individual is not responsible. We cannot pinpoint you, John or Michael or Yes or whoever. You cannot pinpoint. We all had fear at some point and we attracted a certain thought, and the moment the cycle started, it went like a rubber band ball. Rubber bands over rubber bands over rubber bands create a rubber band ball, you see. And then it becomes nearly impossible to separate the rubber bands and even know which rubber band started, which was the first rubber band, if you understand. That's how it got entangled. So there is no one to blame. However, you can still do something about it. You can reprogram yourself and create sufficient distance from it. And then you wouldn't have to feel depressed, anxious, obsessive, and all that. You put efforts to make the change, if you understand. Have you heard of Swami Yoga Ananda or Yoga Ananda Pramancha? Yoga, have you heard of Swami Yoga Ananda or Yoga Ananda Pramancha? Yoga Ananda Pramancha or Swami Yoga Ananda was born in India. Obviously, you can tell by the name, and he, I think, passed on here somewhere in California. He wrote the book basically mostly about Kriya Yoga and Kriya meditation that I perform, the autobiography of a yogi, the autobiography of a yogi. And then there was a movie, more like a documentary, that was made on him, and the title of that is Awake. You can rent it from YouTube. It would bring tremendous clarity in you. I rent all the time from YouTube, you know that. And YouTube is the best. It's secure, it's fast, and also it's reliable, you see. So yeah, I would encourage you to do that. No matter what you do, just create a distance. No matter what it takes, create a distance from the mind. I'm just giving you the easy way, which does not require any outside help, which is the Kriya meditation. That's the easy way. I'm giving you the most generic way, the most natural way. That's why it is so potent and it is so effective. That Adi Shankara was a brilliant human in 8th century in India, that he gave you the right tools with Kriya meditation and your energy would be bouncing off the wall all the time, because now there has been a distance created between you and your mind, or the mind of all humanity, you see. So yeah, the more you grow stronger in spirituality, the more you grow, the more you are instilled within yourself, the more you retrieve yourself from the unnecessary drama, the psychological drama, the guilt, the gossips. The more you retrieve yourself from all these negative traits, the more you grow stronger. And the more you grow stronger, the more demons and devil also you they are not very effective, so they usually use the thoughts to scare you and doubt and all those that I listed not long ago to create duality in you, because they want to keep you in their prison, if you understand. I have grown this, don't get me wrong, please follow me what I'm saying. I'm telling you for a reason. In my quest to find the truth and wisdom, basically, I have grown so strong. And the lab, I told you yesterday briefly, the prana, the life energy. Prana is the word that we use from Sanskrit. The life energy has become so stronger that now body obviously is being feeble and becoming feeble every day. I do not regret it, because moksha, mukti, salvation or ultimate liberation is my goal, to become the part of the light. But anyway, hear me out. So, as I mentioned, that I only have 3 4 hours sleep in one day, and I do not feel tired. I feel fully alert. My bed is always clean. We keep our bed clean, me and my spouse. And I am noticing lately more and more that when I am waking up after 3 or 4 hours sleep, I have scars, scratches on my body. Remember, you are missing the point that my bed is very clean, but I have scars. They are very strange. As soon as I fall asleep, I witness there were no scars. But when I wake up, I have slight pinch. Obviously, pain or pinch is the defense mechanism which tells you something need to be attended on your body. You know that much. So I feel that, and when I try to touch it is agitated. It's usually the scars. I know the person who turned into the demon. I know who she is. I am not going to obviously go into the detail because it's pointless, but it somebody who lived in misery, in paranoia and fear. These are not judgments, and these are the facts. Somebody who lived in misery, somebody who taunted passive aggressively to people and pretended to be a saint, and never happy, maybe sometime happy. There were some good qualities, but those good qualities are zilch compared to the entire. If the person passed on in the misery, missing a loved one, because remember something, goal is to achieve mukti or moksha, not to get remain stuck in the family chakra or friends chakra or image chakra or chakra. Okay, not to. um, when the life is around, you nurture it, you give love. You see, it's only natural, that's fine, but you have no possession on it, and you do not get attached basically emotionally, because obviously everyone has to go, and we all are walking in the same direction. When the time comes, people freak out because of the attachment. So when somebody passes like that, such a person obviously living in so much misery and doubt, sadly my heart goes out for her, you know what I mean. But it's it doesn't change anything now, you see, because you are not willing. It has to come from you. The sacred, the Brahman has given you the free will. You have to want it, you see. That's why I'm not a preacher. I sit here, I tell you the way, and I shut up. Whatever you do with my wisdom, or not my personal wisdom, but the wisdom in general, or the truth, it's your case now. You see, I have seen these pastors or mullah or rabbi that you attend the church, they get your phone number and stuff, and after that they just keep calling you. Hey, I have not seen you lately. What is your problem, pal? I mean, I went over there, I looked around, I spoke with people. I didn't like it. I'm moving on because I feel like it is not going to take me anywhere. If you understand, I feel like it is not going to take me anywhere. I feel like it's a barrier. I feel like, barrier, right? Have you ever broken the barriers? You are broken one now. the barrier. It's a barrier in your spiritual growth. It's a barrier in your evolution. So what's your problem? Why are you pursuing me? I heard what you wanted to say. I didn't find it fascinating. I'm moving on. That's what a mystic is, not to be too off track or anything like that, but that's what a mystic is. That's what mysticism is. A mystic experience life firsthand, not by the given information, the so-called given information from Quran, which is a fictional book, from a Bible, which is another fictional book, Torah, another fictional book. All these fictional book man-made, no wisdom. I find more wisdom and more truth in Lord Jesus Christ parables and his biography than I find in Bible. Bible is a storybook, so is Quran, and so is Torah. Anyway, so you cannot evolve if you stick to this plan. Here we stand in the shadow of a master plan. I'm gonna stick on every weekend. Start up. Anyway, I'm just joking. I try to bring some humor time to time because I'm shushing you. You like when I stand this one up over my lips, don't you? So, what I'm saying basically, this is very significant that you realize that, but I want you to realize that through your own experience. If this is what you want, thy will be done. If this is what you talk about, the Jesus Christ, see, if this is what you want, thy will be done. You are moving in circle. You see, you just like an ox we have in India in villages. You put basically a type of band which on the ox eye, and the ox goes in circle, try to bring the water up from the canal or something, or the well, and then it's living in an illusion that it is moving constantly, just like that. So open your eyes, but I am not going to pursue you. I'm not going to take your phone number and going to call you every day. Hey, did you hear my recent retreat? That's why I never say share. I never say, have you ever noticed that? I do not tell you lies. I tell you what I stand for. I do not ask you to share. And a couple of times, even if I did, my intention is to basically, because if I found it profound, the words of truth and wisdom, which is coming out from this vessel, if it can benefit somebody, that was my intention, excuse me. But my intention never is to get anything from you. You understand? My intent, your money, I do not charge for my services, but I know you know. The one who has created me would take care of me, even if I have to stand on the street in a broken state. Broken means financially broken, but I'm not gonna ask for something so petty. And it is also the cause of a lot of indifferences among people, and differences, all that, distances, you understand. I'm not going to ask for that. I have transcended myself. Um, so I do not pursue. I give you the option. I do not ask you to like or love my videos or my pictures or anything. All these activities indicate or show you that you are seeking some type of response from somebody from outside of you. I have transcended that. I don't seek response. For me, the most significant thing is to bring clarity in your perception. When Brahman says, your job is done, wrap it up, I will go. I am totally ready. I have been ready for a long period of time, if you understand. So I am just giving you this wisdom today, regardless that if you are struggling with disorders, if it feels difficult, still you can initiate meditation. Remember that the more you grow stronger, the more these entities, if they have some power, they are not visible, they can try to, at the most, what they can do, what they are doing to my body. Something comes around. It used to be a human, according to the human standards. It used to be a human, but I told you what this woman lived for the most part of her life. And I'm sure that she has passed on, means, but she's stuck, you see, because they cannot see the light. It's not that God is punishing you, you are punishing yourself. God does not punish you. Everything which is happening through your will. You know that you are 100%. As a matter of fact, I would go even further, that you are 100, you are 101% of the quality or the standard of life that you are experiencing in this moment. Your life is more than 100%. 101% is your own making. That is the very fundamental definition of karma. You see, that's the definition of karma right there. Your life is your own making. Nobody, no mullah or rabbi or even pastor, no, not your spouse. So stop punishing or blaming. You see, I say that these religious figures cannot bring any clarity, but there is no need to blame anybody around you. Just look profoundly, you would find that your life is 100% you're making. Every moment, every second, and whatever the karma is attached, it's your entirely your making. Nobody's doing that. But you can change it. That's the hope, basically. You can change it by practicing your free will. Now, for understand this, free will, practicing your free will requires practicing free will requires certain type of a strength in you. If you understand what I'm saying to you or no. Practicing free will requires certain type of strength from you. Now you would gain only strength when you withdraw your awareness. And how? I told you. When you don't invest your time or your energy arguing with some foolish person, or you do not spend your time, energy justifying what you feel within. First, you justify within what you feel, and then you go around and you justify to everybody else. You see, these are all fictions. There is no need. Get out of it, or the words have any meanings in reality. Abstract, nothing. Or suspicions or doubts if people are talking about you, or fear or paranoia, or duality in you. Your mind is trying to make sense out of objects for no good reason. All this is where you have invested your faith, unfortunately. So take the faith out, and then you first, faith is the strength that you can now, you you can now basically and totally start practicing your free will. When you take your faith out of all these superstitions or fictions, or you look down upon because somebody has a certain color, no matter what that color is, it exists in all races. You see, this is what you humans have brought your dharma in the superstitions. Or you look up or look down because somebody has a certain color. No, don't do that. These things, you would stay here. Your soul does not have a size. The size of the soul of elephant and the size of your soul is the same. The size of the soul in an ant and the size of the soul of in the elephant or a camel is the same. You know that it has no color either. It has no gender either. It has none of these abstract things. You understand? The Atman, the soul. When, excuse me, when you take these right measures, when you take these right measures, you realize you are lighter. The more faith you have within yourself, faith not in Muhammad or Christ or Moses or David or Joseph Smith. I'm not talking about that kind of faith. That faith is not going to take you anywhere. I'm talking about faith in the moment. This moment is real, isn't it? This very moment right now, this present moment is real. You cannot deny this moment. Can you try? I want you to try and deny this moment. You cannot deny this moment, isn't it? Can you deny this moment? Try. Try. Say, I deny this moment. Then I still have the upper hand on you, and I would ask you basically, if you deny this moment, so who is the one who is saying that I deny this moment? Who is that? Are you understanding or comprehending fully what I am saying to you? If you say, I deny this moment, I can go ahead and ask you, who is the one who is denying that moment? I heard a voice that I deny this moment. Where that voice is coming from? Who is that I? You get the point, right? I'm sure you're smart enough what I'm saying. Have faith in the present moment. You understand? Have faith in the present moment. Have faith in the present second. Have faith within yourself. Let's live in the moment. Come back Sunday morning. I've got a soul to sell. When you're gone, goodbye, so long, farewell. Have you not heard that song? It's a song anyway. It has nothing to do, but I'm just trying to bring some humor. I like the song, by the way. I'll be right back. Let's do some more meditation. Do not go anywhere. Clarity and wisdom is my present to humankind. Clarity and wisdom is my present to you. What you do with this present is your free will. Remember? Talked about free will. O Shiva mere ko shakti de. O Kali Ma mere ko shakti de. O Shiva. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. O Shiva mere ko shakti dene ka. When you're gone, goodbye, so long, farewell. Come back Sunday morning. I've got a soul to sell. Now your baby. Very soon I would be. Huh? No, it's still recording. We are going to do some meditation, love. Do you need something? It's perfectly fine. You keep carrying what you are doing, but we are going to do some meditation here for a brief period of time. That's all. Okay? Listen to the time. Due to some personal engagement, obviously, I'm just going to leave you to that. And remember, just keep meditating, okay? And also keep in mind that no matter what happens, I love you. I always have, and I always will.